Hi, this is Dee at Aloha Astro. Let's take a look at today's moon transit and the aspects to the planets. The moon transiting Aries Thursday, June 19th, activates discord between your feelings and your thoughts, or you could become overstimulated and overwhelmed by the environment or circumstances you find yourself in, resulting in emotional outburst or a decision to withdraw from further participation, as the moon conjunct Saturn and Neptune in Aries moves from a square aspect with the Sun in Gemini conjunct Jupiter in Cancer to a square aspect with Mercury in Cancer, while Mercury squares Chiron in Aries, but forms a sextile aspect with Venus in Taurus. The two minor grand trines and the two yods, which generated a call to action and improvement yesterday, are still in place today. But as the moon creates tension through those square aspects, you could feel as though you have had enough of pouring your energy into a plan, purpose, or person. Yesterday's hope and drive can't be sustained indefinitely, and the fatigue or stress from doing more or trying to be more can make you, or anyone else who has been affected by the powerful planetary patterns, irritable and a bit irrational. Be mindful of physical needs today. Being tired, hungry, thirsty, or overheated can bother your head. Aries rules the head, or your stomach. Cancer rules the stomach, causing you to say things or make decisions you will regret later. If you are dealing with a crappy person, ask them how they are feeling and if there is anything that could help them feel better. Rest, a meal, a drink, a break. Chances are they have been too busy for self-care, and they need compassion and a reminder more than they need a negative reaction to their bad mood. So here we can see the two minor grand trines, which are still at play: Mars, Sun, Jupiter, Chiron, which would again focus on, take care of yourself before you invest your energy in taking care of others. That if you're depleted, you have nothing left to give, which is what the square aspect here would indicate. If you push too hard, particularly yesterday, or you've gone overboard in assisting someone and they're not picking up the slack or showing any self-motivation, it may be time to actually withdraw, and or for you to dial back on your energy output. Mercury square to Chiron and Pluto square to Chiron are also emphasizing take care of yourself, that there's only so much energy that you have to give. Here's the other minor grand trine with Pluto, the cluster of the North Node, Saturn, Neptune, and the Moon, and Uranus. We've got Uranus hanging out there at the final degree of Taurus. It will be shifting in July into Gemini, and when a planet is coming to the end of its time period in a sign, we get a bit antsy with it. It can make us more restless and create that sense of urgency that we're running out of time to do something. This is about changes, and some of those changes would require us to step into more personal power, to potentially put down that foundation with Saturn and persevere and keep the faith, hold on to the vision with Neptune. That conjunction is a tough one, honestly. The best that you can get out of those two planets is to recognize that it may not ever be exactly as you want it to be, but it will be what you need. Kind of like, the Rolling Stones song that you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. The one quality that these two planets have is the idea of longevity, endurance. One is just coming through the realistic and material perspective of Saturn, and Neptune is bringing the more spiritual perspective, kind of like the work that you do now will bring you some sort of spiritual gain in the future. And sometimes the hardships that we go through do temper us and make us more compassionate toward others. And that is a potential with that conjunction, that it is a trial of the spirit by going through hard things on the material level, and that it would be strengthening to the individual because it is in the sign of Aries. This brings self-awareness into play and responsibility, deciding for yourself what is most important to you and then following through on whatever that work is and being persistent and enduring until you accomplish what it is that you set out to do. And that's for the long term. But on the day to day, as we're adjusting to those two planets moving along in Aries, it may be pointing out the things that are uncomfortable or that you've ignored for too long. And now it's time to address them. And the yads are definitely about that sense of, hey, now it's time. It's time to do something. Mars has moved into Virgo, which is pragmatic and needs oriented and problem solving. So the action of Mars is directing its energy toward getting under your skin and, saying, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Why have you not done this yet? Pluto involved in both the yads in Aquarius and its retrograde. There may be things that you have suppressed for a while and you've ignored for a while, and now they are coming forward for you to take care of. Mercury is a bit mixed today. It is squaring the Aries planets, but it is also making a sextile to Venus in Taurus. And this is where the valuing yourself or caring for yourself before you care for others is so important. That you're just not sacrificing all your time and your energy and depleting low reserves, that you protect yourself and think about your own self-care, think about your value and worth as well. For instance, let's say, oh, I need to make more money, and you decide to raise your prices with your clients. If you have an inner resistance to that and you start disliking the people you work with because you're not getting enough financial support, it's on you to do something about that. It's not them. They're not the problem. So that symbiosis of Cancer is going to give you potentially different ways of looking at it. Think about the other person's side as well. Think about your side of things, and then consider, are you projecting something out onto somebody else that you could be taking care of yourself? The square between the Sun and Jupiter and the Aries planets are saying something similar. We've got the idea of what we do together with the Sun, Jupiter, and Mercury, and what we contribute or what we get from it. And there is no 50-50 all the time, is basically what the squares are saying. But to whatever extent you are able, it is about putting down some boundaries that make it a bit more healthy for you. And you may have to verbalize that with Mercury square to Chiron and Pluto square to Chiron. Take care. Stay calm today. Breathe. Rest when you need to. Stay fed and hydrated. And I'll be back again tomorrow.